So I decided to head out to Rapid City, South Dakota. It's my first trip by myself in a very long time. Well, technically, tomorrow I won't be by myself because my neighbors are actually in South Dakota, but they're in a different city, so I'll actually see them tomorrow. We'll go to view Mount Rushmore and do the cluster ride, and I don't know what else. And then Saturday and Sunday I'm on my own. But it's South Dakota is definitely different from Florida. I flew on, what's the airline called? Allegiant, out of the Sanford Orlando International Airport, I believe that's what it's called, which was the first time I ever took that airport. It's a smaller airport from the airport in Orlando, where the code for that, the Orlando airport is MCO. So the Sanford airport actually does not have a lot of off-site parking. Actually, it doesn't have any off-site parking that I was aware of. So parking on their property is costing me $13 a day. So that's great, as I realized I have a friend in Sanford and I should have just parked my car at his house to save money. But I flew out of Sanford. The staff at the airport was nice because it's a small airport with only 16 terminals. Terminal 1 to 9 on one side, 10 to 16 on the other side. The process for TSA checking area was smooth and fast. I had an hour before my flight took off, so I walked the entire airport because it's so small. The flight with Allegiant, whatever it's called, was rocky, and I couldn't understand why the plane was shaking because it wasn't raining, clear skies. Don't know what was going on with that, but it was packed, and realized when we landed that it was packed with a bunch of bike riders, because Surgus, which is a city out here in South Dakota, is having some bike week or bike festival. So there's a lot of bikers out in South Dakota. They're all over the place, which is pretty nifty. Actually, if I would have known, I probably would have stayed at Surgus. So I could join in the festivities, even though I don't have a motorcycle. But there are people who actually flew their bikes out here. One lady on the shuttle bus to the hotel, she had to leave her bike at the airport because she had a lot of luggage. So she's gonna go tomorrow to go pick up her bike. I'm guessing this back here is probably somebody who had their bike in there and probably went riding. All the way to the back of me, there's a couple of bikes out there. There's a guy that's showing up to the parking lot with his bike. Motorcycles everywhere. So I'm out here in South Dakota and trying to see what adventures or what activities or what new experience I'm gonna have out here. So I'm staying at the Fairfield Inn, and there's a Perkins right next door to it, which is perfect because I am starving. I ate at the airport. The food was horrible and mighty expensive. For 3 pieces of chicken tenders, french fries, and a bottle of water was $17. There wasn't a lot of food or a lot of vendors at the Sanford airport. I guess it was enough for their size, but mainly they advertise a lot of beer, wine, sandwiches, coffee, and sold magazines. So even though for a small airport it's not that bad. they have 4 different on-site parking. They have a parking garage, which I think is $14. The economy parking, which is where I parked, which is $13. Parking by the hour, and can't remember what the other one is. So yeah, so I'm here to see what adventure I'm going to get into, see what South Dakota has to offer. It was my first time being on the plane by myself in a long time. So there's a lot of things I had to figure out when you end up being in a relationship, even though it wasn't that long, but being in a relationship for 3 years, 3.5 years, whatever it may be, I wasn't dealing with printing I'm old fashioned, so I print out my boarding pass, but my ex always had it on his phone and navigating my way through the airport. So thank goodness this was a small airport. So this is going to be interesting. It's also going to be my first time ever using an Uber. So while I'm out here in South Dakota, I'm going to be using an Uber. If using an Uber is it end up being too complicated for me, then I'm going to pay a driver to get to where I need to go. So the plan is to also go to the city of Deadwood and go to the city of Hot Springs, which there is actually a hot spring facility out there. So hopefully I get to go and, take a dip in the hot springs and enjoy a massage. Maybe try to go out to Spearfish and see what's out there. So we'll see what happens. I'm out here in South Dakota. Now, out here, there's like a McDonald's and an Arby's, and there's like a walking path, and I am trying to figure out how is people getting from here to the other side, because there's a railroad track. And I'm not trying to hurt myself, but I really would like to get to the other side, and there's a gas station across the street. I would like to buy M&Ms or some junk food, but I don't know how people are getting to the other side. So I don't know, I'm rambling, but I am looking forward to sharing my trip. Also, since I am about, I think 9 weeks post reconstruction surgery, so one of the things I thought was going to be a challenge was actually putting my carry-on bag in the bin, but it was manageable. I was able to do it without feeling any pain, and I was lucky enough where I had a whole row to myself, so that was awesome. My original ticket had me in a different seat, but because the seats on this plane is so small, they end up moving me to the back, and I had the row all to myself. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching, whoever ends up watching. But yeah, I'm gonna see what this weekend has in store. You can't really see, but there's more motorcycles everywhere. All right, take care, bye.